All right, as mentioned, you were right there, Vince Ferrara, for the mayhem at the end of this and the Tennessee last second 3-point shot. Are your ears still ringing? They might be. I think I could hear the crowd. The ground might have been vibrating in East Tennessee, and I think you could hear the crowd all over the Southeast for that shot that Jamal Meshack made, the three-pointer. What was it like right there, my friend, as we bring you in on college basketball coast to coast?
Yeah, great to be on with you, TJ, as always. And the crazy thing is that that arena at different points in the game was the loudest I had heard this season for sure. Ziegler made a three to tie it late, and that's probably the peak prior to Meshack. And then just the sequence was wild. Late in that game, uh, Mark Sears stepped on Zakai Ziegler's heel, and he went to the court, and then they jumped on the ball and they called it a tie up. Well, that moved the possession arrow to Tennessee. So then when they got tied up again with 2 point or 3 point something seconds left, then Alabama got the tie. It should have been a foul before, but instead it was a tie up, moving the possession arrow. So because it was used there, then Alabama got the ball back. So Alabama gets the inbounds under Tennessee's basket with 3.8 to go because of that missed
Right.
call in tie-ups. And then Alabama gets called for a 5-second call. And so then in the end, Tennessee's inbounding. They can't move it up. 3.8 to go. Jamal Meshack comes open. Ziegler is covered. They can't get him the ball back. Rick Barnes is trying to call timeout. He doesn't get the timeout, and Meshack ends up taking the shot from the H in the Summit logo at midcourt, close to where Chris Lofton made his three against Kevin Durant and Texas years ago. That's legendary in Tennessee history, and that was the game-winning three. And another, yeah, go ahead, TJ.
What was your vantage point? I'm curious as they inbounded and he came across midcourt. Were you on that side of the court or were you on the other side of the court?
Yeah, the media now, they've moved us up to the top of the lower bowl behind the basket. So the basket where they inbound. So you just kind of see everything open up for Jemai Meshack, and his three was on the opposite side where he made it. But yeah, and then obviously the team, everyone reacted. And here's another little element to it. Jemai Meshack was my Vol Network pregame interview. I do all of them for football and men's basketball. The very first question on that interview, and I may try to get it and put it out on social media. I said, Jemai, be honest with you. This game has you written all over it. Great team, great player in Mark Sears, but then you want to show that you guys are great, you're up for the challenge, and then you're great. Is that fair? He said, absolutely. And he went through the list of the motivation of the big game and the big moment and prove himself, prove our team. And pretty cool that it kind of played out that way. A guy that's been criticized for not bringing a ton of offense was able to make that big shot. So it was just a perfect storm for him to hit that basket.
His only 3-point attempt of the game
Mm-hmm.
ended the game, won the game. And who knew? I've known this for years that Vince Ferrara of 99 won the sports animal in Knoxville on the Vol Network has the Midas touch. It does not surprise me you had the Midas touch in the pregame. And by the way, you want to elaborate on the significance of this win, not just the rivalry with Alabama, not just two top 10, if not top 7 or 8 teams, but what else goes into this with that 3-point bomb for the win?
So, well, first of all, Alabama had 9 straight games where they scored 85 points or more on the road this year.
Mm.
9 straight games, 85 or more on the road, and they failed to get to that. So that was the first time that those two had met as top 6 teams. But Rick Barnes now is 10th in wins with that win. That was number 830. Rick Barnes is 5-0 in AP top 10 home games as Tennessee's head coach. Think about that. Top 10 teams at home, 5-0 against great teams. He's 9-1 against top 10 teams at home overall with 8 straight wins, and he's 8-0 at home against AP top 6 teams. So these are great teams that go to Knoxville, and more often than not, he gets the win. That's the home court. That's Barnes. That's them having really good teams every year.
And again, they found a way. Alabama was rolling to the point total thing. They had 62 points because I was keeping track of this with 10 minutes to go. And then obviously end up getting only, 13 the rest of the game in the final 10 minutes.
A
Some of it,
9-point lead fairly late in the second half.
and some of it self-inflicted, bad free throw shooting, couple of crucial turnovers late in the game. And what a gauntlet for them. While we just do a sidebar, they played Kentucky a week ago, Mississippi State midweek. Now this game, then Florida, then at Auburn, then the SEC tournament. I don't know what they're going to have left in the tank. I don't know what let's segue. I don't know what anybody at the end of this league and in that tournament is going to have anything left for the NCAA tournament. I say that sort of seriously, but I mean, good Lord, the end of this SEC schedule and the SEC tournament just overall, it is going to be a brawl, as I keep saying in Nashville. Can you pick it up on that with whoever comes out of it?
Doubt. And look, TJ, the SEC tournament is such a fun event normally. And then this year you add the element of the best league in college basketball, the depth, and then so many teams going to be desperate for either seeding or just getting in the NCAA tournament. It's going to be a gauntlet. That's another big significance of this game is it puts Tennessee in a much better position for a double bye and being a top 4 team. So that is huge because who's going to make a deep run if you have to play like Wednesday or Thursday? Good luck with that, playing great team after great team. It's just it would be too difficult. So I think that's another part of the significance of it. It depends on the timing of it. Who's already in a really good position, they get bounced quickly, then it's not as big a deal. Who has to be so desperate that they maybe get to the weekend and win a bunch of games, but then what's left in the gas tank? But these teams have been playing gauntlets all the time. Some just have it later than others. Tennessee has at Ole Miss and then Carolina at home. So it's much different than what Alabama has. That's because Tennessee's played a bunch more of those elite programs at the top, or earlier in the season. So I think it's just going to be situational on how much it takes out of it. And there's really no track record one way or the other of, hey, you go through a run in a tournament and it wears you down, or it sets you up for success, and vice versa. I just think it's situational on the kind of team you have.